Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to show my current system by showing the setups I watch for on a daily basis. The recent trend has been overall bearish, and how do I know this? Well, I can show you on this chart. Using our market profile chart, we can see the current structure can be seen bearish overall because we had an area of prior balance and a prior high, with sellers taking control over 4420. They were able to push to the 4300 psychological level and also our prior bullish balance. With this knowledge, I would look to take short trades, staying with the current trend. We can also see on this chart how aggressive the sellers have been on the move lower, showing we have active sellers in the market. We will look for shorts off the open, and now we can ask, how will we do this? We will have to find the area of low volume, and with low volume areas come areas of imbalance. As price moves into an area of imbalance, we will either see it pass through or reject. Now we have found our low volume area. We will look to the left of the chart and find areas of resistance. As we can see, price struggled to move through this low volume area before, and now that we have gapped through it, if price returned, we could look for sellers to defend this area. Now we have the what, the how, we need our why. With my trading system, I've been showing to have a 7% win rate, risking 3 points to win 5 points on each trade. With this, we also have a 50% chance to reach our second target, and even a possibility to catch a trending day with our third runner. So as price moves into this area of low volume and resistance, we will watch for sellers on the footprint and delta subgraph. I mainly watch for selling or buying structure in the market. In this market open, we have both. Because we are watching for shorts, we will wait for price to move outside of value, shown by value area high. Value area high being where 68% of the volume has been traded for any profile. As with the low volume nodes, the market sees price outside of value as imbalance, and if we understand auction market theory, then we know price will always want to return back to balance, as this is what the market finds fair. Another thing we can notice is how once we reach the low volume node, we can see buyers coming into the market with tons of effort. Now, if you were a buyer trying to push prices higher and did not see any reward, would you be confident in your trade? As price pulls back, these buyers become trapped and either have to continue buying or take trade for a loss and become a seller in turn, pushing prices lower. Our delta subgraph at the bottom first shows tons of buyers coming into the market as we approach our resistance at 4204, and then we can see sellers coming into the market at the resistance, pushing prices lower with buyers trapped at the highs. Now we see this order flow coming to the market, we will watch for selling structure. With all of our structures marked, we will now place our limit order and let price come into this area of trapped buyers for sellers to come push markets lower. Now we have reached our first and second targets, which we got based off our data. We will now move our stop to break even and let our runners run until we find a swing high that, if broken, we would have to take profits as the move we were part of is over. On this trade, it seems prices returned back to our resistance and low volume area. We can now look to possibly get back into a short as sellers are still aggressive. If we see here, we have the same structure from before, but in a new location. As we moved into this resistance again, we saw buyers become trapped at the highs and sellers did not give up. And on the second push back in is where we get into our short, and sellers came back in at 205 and pushed prices lower, above value area high. As we can see, we got both our targets on the second try of that low volume node resistance area. We will now move our stop to break even and let our runner run, following the same rules as before. With the market bouncing at the lows with moving above prior resistance, the move we were part of is now over. We will then look for the next best trade, risking 3 points to profit 5 points. If you notice, we have selling structure at the past resistance area, and also we are inside a low volume node. With our first 2 targets reached, we now move our stop to break even and let the runner run. Once again, stopped out for break even. We will now look for the next best trade. So we are trading back above value area high and struggling to move above the 4200 psychological level, which could now show us possible trap buyers. Let's now look into the footprint and delta graph. On the footprint, we can see a decent amount of buyers in an area that has become overcrowded. We can see 374 bid trades at 4200, and on the subgraph, buyers trying to push prices higher but failing and not being rewarded. We can then consider again, would you be confident in your trade if you were long above value high near the day's high? We can now draw our structure and place our limit orders, waiting for sellers to become aggressive and push prices back to fair price inside value area, risking 3 points to possibly make 5. Same as before, we have reached our first 2 targets and we'll move our stop to break even, letting our runner run. We took our short off as we moved back above the past resistance and balanced area. So for this day, all the trades we took were with the trend and at areas of low volume and resistance. There were no more trades that followed these steps, so we will just jump to the next day for our last examples. Onto the next day, we can see the continuation of our trend lower, but possibly become balanced around 4140 and 4190. After finding our what, we need our how. As we can see, we have an area where we have had issues getting through in the past. This support to resistance level also sits inside a low volume imbalance, which we can use to look for possible short entries. Right off the open, we can see sellers have shown some aggression, so we can now wait for selling structure to form. Buyers have tried to push higher and have become trapped at the highs. We can now draw our structure and look to get in as price moving into this level, and now we can let trade play out. Prices move lower, so we can now move our stop to break even. Now a swing high has been put in, so we will place our stop above the swing high. Now we will let the trade continue, and we got stopped out. We will now continue to look for the next best trade. We have some buyers above value area high, which could lead them to become trapped. We will now mark our selling structure and wait for price to return to these trapped buyers. And we were stopped out. We still profited 5 points and only lost 3 points. We will now continue to look for the next best trade. We can now look at what happened here. First, we formed some structure, high delta, and a little bit of selling delta. So I took short and found myself fully stopped out. As we came in, found more selling structure, and I went short, and now we'll let the trade play out. There, we make up for our past loss and still profited. We will now let the trade play out. With the swing high getting put in, we can now move our stop to 4144. Where if price moves above this, we will deem our short over and look for the next best trade. During this actual trading day, I was gone from my computer, but we were stopped out. But even then, we still would have netted 32 points on our runner. So that was all my trades I took for the past 2 days. I hope this video has helped you in one way or another. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to join my Discord and mention me. And that's it. Thanks for watching.